Hello and welcome to yet another iSMA CONTROLLI webinar. My name is Pablo Shermański and I'm here to welcome you together with my colleague Adrian Pakua. And today we will go through our latest product in our comfort solution, the Control Point, our indoor air quality management multi-sensor. So let's quickly go through the agenda, as we only have, as always, 30 minutes, and look at what we will be discussing today. So first and foremost, all the models of the Control Point, all the communication possibilities, the plug and play configurability of our product with the controllers, key features, and at the end, we'll go through the live demo, connect to our FCU, Rack 18, and the Mac 36 Pro controller together with our Control Point. So without any further ado, let's start and talk about the Control Point, our network indoor air quality multi-sensor with an LCD screen. And what's the most important? Monitoring the indoor air quality parameters is crucial for all buildings. Since the COVID times, we've been talking and discussing how it is important to monitor all the parameters of the indoor air quality, not only the temperature. And it's so important that we do that not only today in the office spaces and hospitals, we do that almost everywhere. So let's look at the main factors where we can use the Control Point. Of course, the Control Point itself, it will help you improve the energy efficiency of the building, but that's not the only benefit. So let's look at the first example of where we can use our Control Point panels. So office spaces and other hotels and hospitality facilities, let's say. So we are office workers. We spend over 90% of our time in the office spaces and only 10% outdoors. And in fact, the indoor air quality is often worse than it is outdoors. So it is so important to have a good air quality that improves our productivity, but it also reduces headaches and stress. It's really good for our health and well-being. So overall, our comfort of living, which is especially important when we look at the hotel spaces and other hospitality facilities, where as a guest hotel, you want to feel rested throughout the whole stay at that facility, right? Let's look at another example, which is a hospital. Good air quality prevents the spread of infections. It supports the patient's recovery once they are in the hospital. But it's also so important for the facility workers. It helps them from being exposed to these high-risk conditions. Some of the options that we have on the Control Point panels are also custom applications. Adrian will show you more during the live demo, but one of the applications Control Point can work with is displaying the pressure value of when you need an overpressure in the operating room. So in operating rooms, it is so much required to stop any contaminants coming from the neighbor rooms into that one, to stop and prevent it from the lower air quality in those neighbor rooms. And definitely Control Point can help monitoring that. Another examples of using our Control Point are, let's say, schools, universities, and other public buildings, where poor air quality really affects the factors that are directly related with our learning performance. So once we are in the school, our concentration cannot be influenced by that poor air quality. We want to stay focused, right? It also increases the stress levels once the poor air quality, once we are in those facilities, and it is so important to maintain the good air quality in that spaces. And another example that we prepared for you are the gyms and the sports centers. So at the gym, all the gym users, they breathe harder once they are there. And it is so much different than any other environments, right? So it is so important that we have the good air quality there because their sport performance is directly related with the air quality indoors in a sport facility. And definitely the control point can help with that as well. So these are just some key examples where you can use our control point, but it's not limited only to that. And let's now go through the key features of the control point itself as a wall operating unit. And let's start with the interoperability of the panel. So first and foremost, it is a network sensor, network multi-sensor. It allows you to connect using the BACnet MSTP and Modbus RTU ASCII. So it supports open protocols and allows to connect with different applications, different controllers. And we have a number of supported interfaces and ports to do so. First and foremost, our control point supports any third-party integration, which means you can control it directly to any RS-485 port on a supporting controller, power it up with 24-volt AC or DC, and it is ready to go and communicate all that information from the sensor directly to the BMS, to the controller. But also, we have an option to directly connect the control point to our controllers with the dedicated smart plug. So the smart plug is RJ45 connector on the controllers and on the control point. So with a simple RJ45 cable, you can just plug and play, connect this panel to the controllers, and also daisy chain them. As you can see, we have two of those connectors, and we support daisy chaining of the panels with the controller. So what controllers do we have in our portfolio to connect the panel with? Starting with our latest VV14IP through our RAC18IP ROM application controller and FCULL for the Funcoil applications. So all of them directly support plug and play integration with the control point. But you can still connect the panel with any third-party product as well. And the first interoperability application we see is just worldwide operation of the panel. We support different type of the flash mounting with the 60 millimeter European flash box or with the one gun electrical outlet box. So this is one panel that you can connect both the CPU with. And now, Adrian, thank you for this presentation. And maybe now we can go through a quick overview of this hardware in hands, so we can stop sharing and you can see it live here on the panel. So maybe
Thank you, Pavel. So here I've got our iSMA BFCU controller, and using simple cable, I can just plug in the smart plug and with the second, and I will within a seconds can create a connection from our FCU controller to our control point. I can also connect our control point controller to our rack and IP controller, but I have already connected one panel to this rack 18 IP, but I can create a daisy chain connection just using next cable from one panel to second panel, and as you can see, we can provide the power and communication from one to second panel and connect this panel also to the controller. And I have also our new VAV controller, where we can have also the smart plug connection available for our control point and touch point panels.
So the controller shares both the power and communication with the control point. So how many of those control points can you daisy chain with one controller?
Yeah, from As an example, for rack 18 IP, I can power up to 5 control points.
Okay, so 5 plug and play.
Yeah,
no other
in sections.
Right. Okay, that's great. Thank you. All right, so just a quick demo. First one, but definitely not the last one today. Let's go further and look at the hardware range that we have. We have 16 hardware options. We have, first of all, we have different colors. So let's start with the colors. So let's say the basic one is the CP with a display in a white. So we see the code is CP this W. And we had another one in a black color. So the CP-this-B stands for the black color. And then in our flexible hardware range, we have different sensor options. So by default, our CP panels, all of them support the temperature sensor. So no matter which CP panel you select, it always has the temperature sensor on board. And those temperature sensors in the same panel are configurable for Celsius and Fahrenheit. So within a second, using our tools that we'll present you, you can change the Celsius to the Fahrenheit. This value will be shared immediately within the backnet or Modbus connection using the right selected unit. And then for all models, we also have a humidity sensor as an option, as well as the CO2 sensor as an option. So when you have multiple sensors on the board, on our 2.6-inch LCD screen, you will see those values displaying one after another. So firstly, starting with the temperature, then you will see the relative humidity, then you will see the concentration of the carbon dioxide. And at the end, there's another settings for the set point that can be set. So these are all the standard configurations that come out of the box with the panel for the selected version of the hardware. And there is another hardware selection available with the buttons that are available on the panel. So when you look on the panel itself, you have 2 types of buttons, and they are for the application. So the first type of button is with the fan, with the plus and minus for the set point and for the occupancy. And this panel is dedicated for FCU applications. So you have the fan control, you have the set point control, and you have the occupancy status. And it's natively supported by our FCU and Rack 18 applications. So FCU comes preloaded with an FCU application, the FCU controller, and the Rack 18 has an option, an application that can be installed on the controller, and it also directly supports our CP panel. So this is the first version. And the second version, called CP-VEV, are panels with a navigation instead of the fan button, with set point and acceptance button. So you can see this difference between the fan and the navigation. And with this panel, we support any VAV applications, and it's also working natively with our VAV14 IP controller. So it's plug and play with the built-in application on this controller, but it also supports third-party and custom applications as well. So here an example of an underfloor heating. You can use this controller not only for, let's say, standard comfort applications, you can create custom applications, and for that, we are also ready. So I showed to you all the options that you have by default that are displayed on the LCD screen, but we are not limited only to that. This LCD panel can be freely configurable with up to 16 custom values. So we saw 4 custom values here. So the temperature, humidity, CO2 that appears one after another. You can have up to 16 of those values displayed on the main screen. You have an option to select from those 10 icons, and you can use them as a part of your application. You have up to 8 units that can be displayed and switch on and off whenever needed. And you have up to 7 predefined menus. And those predefined menus, they support as well different applications. For example, blinds, lighting, and others. And you can use them with all of those options that I explained, so those 16 additional display values on each of those 7 predefined menus. So Adrian, how many of that configuration it gives you at the end? It's like over 60, 70.
Yeah.
So you have really fully configurable product. And now, can I ask you, Adrian, to do us a quick demo of how the control point works with the default FCU application,
Yeah, sure.
with some custom application?
So we've got here our FCU controller. When I just simply connect the control point one more time to the FCU controller, and I will power up our FCU controller. Here you've got the LEDs for the indication of heating and cooling. We've got red and blue LED, and I almost few seconds ago connected the FCU, and now it's everything ready to work. When I change the set point on the controller, just accept that the FCU is working and now it's heating. When I change one more time,
you may not see this, but he's simulating the cooling and heating here in those diodes.
Yeah, so
but I can confirm it works.
As you can see with our preloaded application, everything is working, but control point is now showing the set point temperature measurements, but we can also show some custom applications. But first I have to change the protocol on the control point, which I can easily do with the deep switch. Yeah, it's here. So I just click one time, change the protocol, and now I will connect to our rack 18 IP. So now let's click. On the rack 18 IP, I've got an application to show the custom screen. And now, as you can see, you should see, Paweł, what you can see.
I can see the pressure. Yeah.
Yeah, pressure. Because now I disable all the predefined default views showing the temperature, humidity, and now I'm showing only the pressure. So I'm showing it's visible.
It is.
Yeah.
So you disabled all the predefined temperature and humidity values that are displayed, exactly. And now you only display the pressure.
The pressure
for the hospital application.
Yeah, I can make the description. I can make choose the units. So now I'm showing the 560 pascals of pressure.
Okay, thank you so much. All right, so that's a pretty neat feature we have. So let's go back to the presentation and discuss now. So how you would be configuring this panel. And good information for you that it is fully configurable with multiple tools that we provide. So we are always trying not to give you one way to configure the product. What we are trying to do is to give you multiple ways. And the first way, probably the most simple, is just connect to the built-in USB-C port on the control point. So that will give you an access to all configuration available. Basically, you take an USB-C cable, connect it to the CP panel, and connect it to our iSMA configurator. Adrian will show that to you in a second. It will power up the CP panel and basically gives you the fairly configurable options with our software. The second option is backlit. So as we mentioned, this panel is both backlit and Modbus on board. It's selectable with one deep switch. So we just change the protocol easily. And once it's in backlit or Modbus, you can set up all the values that are available using those protocols. But there's also a third option, which is the LCD itself. So if you need to change something, you don't have your laptop with you, you're on the site, and your customers ask you to change some value or some network protocol changed, and you need to adjust to it like a Modbus address or any other parameter, you can do that directly from the panel itself. We give you over 200 configurable backnet objects, and I think that's much more in Modbus. So really, it's really configurable product. You have a lot of configuration options. We'll show you a demo in iSMA configurator, our free of charge portable tool that we provide to you that allows you to communicate with the panel, configure it, and update the firmware seamlessly. We'll show you how you can easily integrate the CP panel directly to Niagara using our Mac36 Pro or any other Niagara controller supporting RS-485 connectivity. We have there built a fully loaded CP library that will allow you to configure it really in seconds, just dragging and dropping the points into your Niagara device from the palette. And you have also an option, if you're an FCU customer and you're using the FCU, you have also option to use our iSMA room devices kit to create any custom application using this device as well. So now I will give the voice to Adrian to show to us firstly the iSMA configurator and how do you configure the CP panel there. And then we'll move to Niagara Workbench. I will show to you one of the applications that you can create in Niagara with the panel. So I'll give you the voice back to you.
So thanks, Pavel. So first, I will use the simple USB cable to connect the control point to my computer. As you can see, I'm using only the USB connection and power within seconds is starting. I'm not using any additional power supply. I don't need this. And now I will share my screen to show you what you can do in iSMA configurator. So I will open the iSMA configurator and I see just right now the control point after the connection. I can go online and connect to the panel. As you can see, we've got few tabs for configuration. On the main tab, I can easily just do something like turn beeper, turn on, turn off.
I can hold it for you.
Thank you much. Thank you. I've got next tabs with temperature configuration, humidity, CO2 sensor configurations, the set point, so I can easily change the low limit and high limit of the set point. I've got also fan configuration because control point can be configured as a 0 to 10 volts fan, 1 or 2 or 3 speed fan, and I've got also the RS-485 configuration for configure the address.
So let's say that I have all sensor options on the panel, but I would like only to display the temperature value, and I would like to disable the humidity and CO2. Is that possible?
Yeah, sure. I can just inactivate the CO2 humidity and CO2 sensor, and now we can see only the set point and temperature view.
Okay, that's cool. And also, if there's any firmware update, this is also the tool I will use to update the firmware.
Yeah, of course. Just right button click on the CP, and you can upgrade, reset, reload settings, and bring back the default settings of the panel.
Okay, that is great. So yeah, I think we can move now to the Niagara.
Niagara, yeah, sure.
Can you enable like the CO2 as we'll need it for the demo?
We need this.
All right, that's great. So I give the panel back to you.
Okay, so now I will connect the control point to our Mac36 controller using, of course, the smart plug connection because it's the easiest way. But how can we call this?
Sure.
Okay, so let's switch to Niagara. Here I've got my platform station. I will go to the backnet connectivity, where I can easily discover the device. Okay, I've got it.
That is a moment of truth.
Yeah.
I should stress.
Okay, so let's add our device to our controller and look at this. When we move to the points, we can easily discover all points available on the control points. As you can see, as Pavel said, is a quite large number of points available. And of course, when we are using the backnet connectivity, it's easy to discover the points, and we've got almost everything we need. But when we are using the Modbus connectivity, we don't want to spend whole night on searching the manuals for the Modbus registers, so we can use our iSMA Controlli library. On the left, as you can see, we've got everything in our library. For Modbus connectivity, we've got the comfort management folder, and here we've got the control point. In the control point folder, we've got all available points. Just you need to drag and drop the points to your controller, and everything is available. Also, everything is in temperature, available in temperature, humidity, occupancy folders. So we can use it for Modbus connectivity, but we are using the backnet connectivity right now. So let's do something with the CO2 sensor power. Yes, so we can in points search for CO2 sensor, and let's just drag and drop the measurements from our CO2 sensor. And it's showing us right now almost 1,500 ppms, which is quite large number value. And we, in control point, by default, we've got also the alarm functionality. So let's use it. Here I've got the alarm is active. So right now, as we can see, we've got no alarm in our control point, but we have to also configure the set point for this alarm. So control point should know when we want to enable the alarm for this. Right now, I've got configured the set point for this alarm as a 4,000 ppm, which is the maximum value. For this, let's change this to 1,000, which is maximum healthy value. Okay, so right now we can see that there is an alarm, but Pavel, do you see anything on the control point that there is a panel alarm?
Not right now.
No, right now. So let's use another functionality for the control point. Let's use the functionality which calls CO2 in alarm show high. When we just drag and drop this binary point and change this to active, right now we've got also the we can notify the building occupants like Pavel that there is an alarm.
So now
what you can see, Pavel.
All the values disappeared, and I can only see that the ppm level of the CO2 measurement is high. So
Yeah.
definitely need to open the window at least.
Exactly. So please go ahead. And what will happen where you press any button?
Okay, it came back to the default values. So I can back see the temperature, set point, and humidity measurements.
For this one, we got also the binary point called CO2 alarm confirm. So we can see in the BMS system when the user will when the user will confirm the CO2 alarm.
That was great. Okay,
So,
and I think we did well because that was the 30 minutes we had. So would like to thank you all for being with us, and we invite you to our another webinar that we prepare for you about the VAV 49P coming soon. So wait for some announcements on your newsletter on LinkedIn. Definitely follow us on our LinkedIn page at iSMA CONTROLLI, and thank you for joining.
thank you.